This is Audrey West, and this is her home. Even though she grew up in London from the age of 6, she has always longed to be surrounded by sea and mountains. These have been her comfort zones since she was a child in Jamaica. She used to look out to the sea from the veranda. The boats looked as small as the paper ones she made from exercise books. And across the hill, she watched Mr. Stedman's clouds of sheep drift across the green slopes. The English fog never blurred that internal sight. She left London in 2017 to escape to the country in North Wales. Now, in this small seaside town and through its friendly rowing club, she is closer to the sea than she's ever been, even in Jamaica. The landscape of sea and mountains reminds her of her Portland birthplace that she left in 1962, along with 5 siblings to join their parents in London. It was a rescue mission. Her little sister had already died. She died by eating poisoned yam, while the rest of them survived. Audrey's collection of family photos keeps memories of earlier days alive for her. Her parents gave up the hope of returning back home within 5 years. Slushy snow, thick fog, and iron-grey pavements hid any gold promised in Her Majesty's London streets. Education was the best opportunity England could offer. Audrey took her share, though school was a mixed blessing, where she first met the madness of racism. But at home they laughed through most hardships. Audrey read a lot, from Louise Bennett, the esteemed Jamaican language poet, to books they found in jumble sales. This included her first introduction to psychology, aged 10. She remains influenced by both. Audrey graduated from university with a degree in Iberian and Latin American studies, and then spent time in Spain to improve her fluency. After some more unpleasant experiences with racism, she decided to give up her sky blue Jamaican passport for a black British one, to make travelling easier. Little did she realize how narrowly she escaped the Windrush backlash. During teacher training, she returned to practicing visual art. She also worked at a local fringe theatre and read black women writers. She taught briefly, but was restless to be more creative. Following her mother's death in 1984, she returned to Spain to teach and paint. She came back to London 6 months later at the sudden death of her eldest brother. She then shared her life with community development work, a British Jamaican partner, and a baby daughter. Her educated father scoffed at Audrey's gibberish when she naturally spoke to the baby in Jamaican. That may have accelerated the slippery slope to separation. Something wasn't working, and Audrey sought therapeutic support. Afterwards, a good friend nudged her into becoming a psychotherapist. Nowadays, Audrey still paints, and she still loves languages, and to both talk and write, especially in Jamaican. But a passing English chat in a lovely shop in the town uncovered a quite unexpected local relationship. A bit of a poem she recently recorded tells part of the story.
Somehow we come from far, far. Must see one place them call France, where them fight. Near the mountain, by the sea. Fight so bad them call them dispute. For sword. Call them Jew, make them run.
It turns out Audrey's not the only person of Dispute heritage here. She's found a distant relation, who is now also a good friend.
This is my sister Kath. Kath, you always call me your sister, don't you?
Because we're connected through family from many moons ago in Jamaica.
Because I bought something from Vicky's shop, and then we got talking about unusual surnames. So I said, oh, guess what my grandmother's surname was, which was really random. She said, Dispute. I said, oh, we've got an Dispute in Barmouth.
French it is, so I don't know about them being in France, the Disputes. But my 5 times great-grandfather had plantations in Jamaica, and I found out so much, Audrey, since I've known you. And I will get emotional because I'm very sorry about inequality.
Yeah. Well, Kath, you've said so many times how sorry you are, and I want to say it wasn't you. This is a part of our history.
Yeah.
And none of us know exactly what part our ancestors played, except that this is part of my heritage in terms of the Dispute family, that we were of the enslaved group.
Back in 2000, an MA course in cultural memory wove together the tapestry of Audrey's life. As she examined post-generational trauma in families of Jewish Holocaust survivors, she suddenly recognized the impact of transgenerational trauma on descendants of transatlantic enslaved Africans. At the time, this narrative was silenced in the UK. Some Jamaicans already knew. This realization has informed her work ever since in every aspect. Visual art, poetry, post-trauma healing through psychotherapy, and community engagement. The story continues. She's looking forward to the next chapter.